So exploring some of the heated headlines, if you like, that if you pay attention to them, then you're going to be confused. Hence the quote from Tom Peters here. And there's a lot being talked about in regard to real estate, which I believe is one of the drivers to get employees back into the office. It's not about culture. It's not about productivity. It's about real estate. One of the big reasons. HR Grapevine said, organisations heavily invested in office spaces are faced with the prospect of diminished office space value, with a McKinsey and Company report projecting potential losses of 800 billion in real estate value by 2030 as a moderate scenario. And Eva Jurokovic, who's a researcher in Australia, and she has said, I think the desperation to get everyone back in the office is largely to do with money and real estate. I concur. And I talked about recently one of the big four banks here in Australia, ANZ, who have the ANZ Centre, 833 Collins Street, completed for 750 million in 2009, the largest single tenanted commercial building in Australia. And CEO Shane Elliott is saying that he wants everyone back in the office because of teamwork and collaboration and sharing of ideas. I think it's more about his concern of the empire he's built and the square footage of real estate that's going to be empty. And the other thing that's going on is what has been coined the layoff wolf. Now, I wrote recently about the massive hiring, especially tech and finance did during the pandemic. They hoarded talent because they didn't want their competitors to get it, and they also wanted to look like they were being successful. In fact, the people that they recruited had nothing to do. And of course now, massive layoffs of those same people because they've got numbers they do not need and didn't need. And there are companies that might want to avoid the bad press with massive layoffs. And Dan Schwabel, who's a managing partner at Workplace Intelligence and a New York Times bestselling author, told CNBC a company might use a return to office mandate as an opportunity to restructure its workforce. And one company that could be employing this covert layoff tactic is AT&T, which recently mandated that 26,000 managers across 50 states work in person, but only at offices in just 9 locations. And in June, an AT&T employee told Bloomberg that the telecommunications company's new return to office mandate was a layoff wolf in sheep's clothing.